What's going on, my friends? I am Dustin Stelzer with Electrician U, and today is part 2 of me tool shopping. So today I'm going to be giving these tools away to a local charity. So today we are going to meet Rebuilding Together Austin and deliver them their tools. So Jesse, from Rebuilding Together Austin.
Yeah.
What do you guys do? What's your whole organization?
Funny you should ask. So what we do here, Rebuilding Together is a national nonprofit. I represent the local affiliate here in Austin. We do home repairs and accessibility modifications for low-income homeowners. So that is our little niche of the bigger affordable housing spectrum.
Okay. So what kind of work do you guys do the most of? Like what jobs do you run into?
So we run the whole gamut. So we do roofing, HVAC, we do electrical, water heaters, we do a lot of painting, a lot of exterior repair, and then we do the accessibility stuff too. So a lot of tub to shower conversions, a lot of widened doorways for people in wheelchairs, a lot of grab bars, entry ramps, do a whole lot of that. Some of the homes we use contractors for, and some of the homes we use volunteers for. Yeah, but pretty much anything on a home we work on.
Where do you get your volunteers from, or like how does somebody come to volunteer for you?
There are a lot of charitable local companies. So we get Swinnerton is a big one. They're a corporate commercial building company. We're about to have David Weekly Homes in a couple weeks, Realty Austin. These are just big corporations within Austin that want to have like a team building day. And they come out, and I do my best to keep them busy and engaged.
Like herding cats.
Yeah, I'm like, there's a bunch of you and one of me, and I'm going to do my best to keep you busy, and that's what we do.
So do you have actual trades that you work with as well? Like, do you have electrical companies that kind of do stuff with you on all your jobs?
Yes, if it's a trade item, obviously we're not going to have HVAC volunteers replace the HVAC because that's a licensed trade. We don't have volunteers do electrical because you need to have a license and pull a permit to do electrical. So the volunteer jobs are mostly replacing rotten siding, fencing, painting, landscaping, exterior-based sort of non-licensed work.
Yeah.
But
you probably do come across having to move things a lot, like electrical wires. If you reframe the wall or something, you do have to do things.
We come across it, but then we stop right there, and then I bring in the electricians.
Yeah.
So these homeowners are excellent. They're super sweet. The wife just went to work. He used to be a journalist. They're both completely blind.
Whoa.
Yeah, he does proofreading of Braille. So people send him Braille. He's got this computer in the back room. He's got a writer's room, and he can read with both hands. It's pretty awesome.
That's nuts.
It's really awesome.
So he proofreads Braille before it gets like,
exactly.
Holy crap. I didn't even think about the fact that that's a thing.
Yeah. He's like a professor. He's like really smart. But anyway, great guy. They qualify for low income, so boom, we'll take it. And they need help like everybody else. But we painted the outside, replaced a lot of rotten wood. I can show you some of it. Yeah, we put a new ramp here for them. That was like some really slippery tile. This is the laundry room, but the pipe's busted. And all of this got rotten out. So this is all new siding down this side. New paint, some rotten wood here and there.
You paint all the trim and all the siding?
Yeah.
All the way around the house?
All the way around.
Holy cow.
This trim's all new. That was, for some reason, somebody put MDF on it and it was just like exploding from moisture. So that's all new trim around that. We've got a new back door. Kind of interesting. The other door didn't have a window. They wanted a door to let more light in. It's not the first thing you think of if they can't see, but I think the UV energy, like it's just good to have light in a room, whether or not you can see. And that's his like writer's cabin, so that's his office. So we put a door on with light, and they love it. There's a funny story. I can tell you this is true. We worked on their house a long time ago, and the daughter was like 10 years old. And I was walking through the inside of the house, and I went to the master bedroom. He's like, "This is our bathroom. Does the tub look out of date or anything?" And I let them know what I see. And I was like, "Okay, you got some rotten trim." And I was like, and the daughter is 10 and she can see fine. And she was sort of following us around. And I was like, "Oh, and you got looks like some artwork. Some kids are coloring on your shower wall." And the daughter's like,
That's funny.
she's like, They had no idea her daughter had been coloring on the bathroom shower.
Oh, that's funny.
But that was like 10 years ago. New HVAC system, which is a big one. That's expensive. But yeah, they measure for that window, they just haven't replaced it yet. And a little bit of inside work. Sanded the cabinets, painted the living room, dining room.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
How does the funding of projects work then? Like, who pays for all of that stuff?
Good question. So, City of Austin has a home repair grant for qualified homeowners, and it's up to $20,000 that we can do pretty much any work. They have a few exceptions, like sheds, dog houses. Like, it's pretty much any work we can do up to $20,000 if they're income qualified.
And does it have to be specifically for disaster relief?
So that's a separate one.
Oh, okay.
So that's another $10,000 related to the freeze. That money's going to go away pretty soon.
Yeah.
We're blowing through it really quick. The first $20,000, that's a 5-year grant that we have for like 3 more years, and then we got to go back to City Council and advocate that we want that money again. Okay. But it's a really good program. If you live in Austin, you're low income. It's hard enough to live because of housing prices, but to get a little bit of help to keep your house in order is great. It lets people live in their home a little longer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, so what we did is I wanted to find just some kind of local group in Austin that we could donate a bunch of electrical tools to. So I figured, you guys, while you're not really doing much electrical work, I think being able to run wires and move wires and do things, there's a lot of situations where you don't have to have a license and you still need to be working around electrical systems. So I figured it'd be useful to kind of walk my viewers through like what a basic set of electrical tools is, and hopefully it would help you guys out.
Tremendous, yeah.
We're not gonna Plus, if you got that electrician that their helper didn't bring any tools, it's like, bro, I got all your stuff.
Sometimes our volunteers are electricians.
Yeah.
So that's great too.
Yeah. So let me bring the box out. And
awesome.
I'll show you what we got.
Let's do it.
Okay, so first thing I think you would probably use are sticks. So have you ever used these before?
No, it's like a fish tape or something?
Well, it's a fish stick. So like,
fish stick.
Fish tape is bendable, but fish sticks, like if you have to run stuff across rafters and you don't want to crawl all the way through the entire attic, you just put some tape on that thing and send it through. Yeah, dude, it's really nice.
Drop things under a deck?
Yeah.
Reach under and get it?
Yep.
Cool, thanks, man. Whoa! Nice. All right.
Yeah, I wanted to get some power tools too, but I figured you guys probably have power tools. And then by the time I got all of that stuff, I was like, okay,
this is great. Paddle bits.
So I love these gloves. I'm a fan. Like, I use so many different kinds of gloves, and most of them are junk.
Yeah.
So like, I really like these because they're like a thick canvas, and they've got just some extra grip on the bottom. So for Home Depot, I find these are the best.
Nice.
I love this thing too. Like, I'm a big fan of Milwaukee, but it's bright light, fits inside your pocket. It's not like a big cumbersome thing, and it lasts for a long time.
Yeah.
Diablo, I'm a huge fan of Diablo stuff.
Paddle bits, we use a lot of those. Drywall saw.
Yeah. I like that one specifically just because it's really rigid. It's not like floppy and wiggly. Some people like the really like flimsy ones.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah. You got to have a multimeter.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So that's a pretty basic one, but I think
you might have to show me how to use it.
Yeah. Those are great because they're fog resistant, so they don't fog up and get all.
When you have your mask on.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is awesome. All right.
So lineman's pliers,
Heck yeah.
and then obviously twisting joints. That thing is pretty rad. So it's got multiple different sizes of nut drivers, and it goes all the way down from 1/4 inch to, I believe, 9/16, just above a half.
Sweet.
Yeah. Actually, does it do it more than that? No, 9/16. And it's all magnetic. It's pretty awesome. That's the hammer I use every day.
Yeah.
I like it because it's just cool looking.
Yeah.
But I do like the leverage on it.
I like that you can put the nail in and get them started.
Yeah, do you actually use that?
I've done it. It's when you can't reach.
I did it when I first got it.
When you
the
can't
first
reach.
day.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
If you can't reach to get the nail started, then that's
there is a point to it then.
Yeah.
I was like, this is totally gimmicky. And then channel locks, I got 2 different sizes, I think. So if you're ever having to put pipe fittings
Look at all
together.
This is awesome. Ooh, that's a fancy one.
That is a killer level. The magnets are so strong, and it gives you 90 degrees, 45 degrees, and 30 degrees.
Oh.
So if you're ever bending something.
Yeah.
This is great for taking ceiling fans down or putting fans up.
Oh,
it's so short that it gives you the Phillips, the flat, 1/4 inch, and 5/16 all in one little stubby.
I can't believe this is the basic kit. These are important.
Yeah. Well, this one's great too. It's got a flashlight on the end of it.
Oh, nice.
So not only does it sense two different things, if you've got like low voltage, the 12 volt stuff, or if you got like regular wiring, you just hit it on that and it'll tell you if it's hot or not. But it works as a flashlight, so it's something to just kind of keep on you.
Yeah.
So.
And on these older homes, there's wires that are hot and there's wires that are dormant. So I don't always know. So that's great. Yes, of course.
Yeah. Especially they'll do wood and metal.
And we tend to break a lot of drill bits.
Volunteers too, I imagine. Another just really cool flashlight.
That is a really cool pin light.
I'm a big fan of small flashlights.
Yeah.
So those are
nippers.
Yeah, they're diagonal cutting pliers, but it's essentially just for cutting or peeling staples out.
Yeah.
I like strippers that are really small in your hand. I don't like these huge things. So these are the ones I use all the time.
A lot of our clients have had multiple cable providers, and there's just a bunch of cables, so we end up zip tying a lot. So you clean them up with this.
Yeah.
It's not exactly electrical, but
no. This thing's rad because the bottom and the top.
That is cool.
And it's got, it grabs on the top and the bottom, so if you need to go
hook under,
grab like that. Plus it's got like a really long break on it, so I mean, like electricians, we use really stout, fat tape measures because a lot of times we're working up over our head.
Okay.
And we're up on top of ladders, so we need something that has a long break to it. But I love that, if you're ever like doing anything, it's so handy to have it on both sides. It's got conduit multipliers on it, so if you're ever bending pipe, it shows you how to. It just shows you how to bend pipe on the actual tape measure.
Random carpenter trivia. You know what the diamonds are for?
No. That's not a diamond.
Triangle, fine. A lot of tapes, they're a diamond.
No, what is that?
It's an alternate framing interval.
So you have
if
one.
You can do a layout. Well,
two.
that's not. Yeah, that's the reds are 16ths. So
Right.
if you frame on 16ths, but old school framings, sometimes they would frame on these diamonds. It's just another equal spacing.
Okay. Equal spacing within 4 feet.
Yeah.
So that's splitting. I guess that's splitting 4 feet into thirds, then, right?
Yeah.
You've got
I think
one.
that's what I'm trying to say. You're more articulate.
Okay. That's rad.
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing that I love to do to teach apprentices when they first start using a tape measure is if you're trying to get a measurement and it's so long you don't know how to split the measurement in half, you just fold the tape measure in half. So say you've got like 79. If you look at the end of where that tape measure is, it says 39 and a half. So half of 79 is 39 and a half.
Oh, gotcha. That's good.
Yeah,
that's
it's a
good.
little trick.
We used to like set up a builder square and we have to check and see if things are level, and you set the tape, the guy holds the tape and the other look through the builder square. And so there was this, we used to do this, and you'd slide it in your clip and then lock it. But now you just have a yardstick.
No way, that's so cool.
Yeah, and then you'd be like, all right, now go to the electrical store, and you go over here, and the guy, the boss is always on the tripod, he's on the builder square. And then you go back here, kind of put it in front of you so you have a clean backdrop.
Yeah.
And then you go over here.
That's so cool. So
That's
something I would use that for is a lot of times in like commercial buildings, I'll take a piece of pipe and I'll take a measurement and I'll write my plug height, a line, and I'll do another one for my switch height. That way I don't have to keep pulling it out when I've got my plan with me and I'm marking switches and plugs out. I just walk over, mark on the stud.
Yeah, that's good.
But I could probably use something like that.
Yeah,
that's really
cool.
handy.
All right, fun stuff. We do it so long, we still learn. Right?
Yeah. Oh, needle nose.
Yes.
I mean, like, yeah.
You might use these for fishing, actually.
Yeah. I mean,
Just
sure.
good for getting the hook out. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, this is something new that Klein has. So it's a plug tester that's got the GFI button like the normal small ones, but it's also digital and it shows you value. So it'll show you what your voltage is and it still shows you whether it's wired backwards or if it's correct or anything. So it's just a lot more advanced.
And it'll tell you if it's a GFCI.
Yeah.
Even though if it's like GFCI protected.
Well, it won't tell you it's a GFCI. Well, I guess maybe. It says GFCI on there. Interesting.
But like some of the plugs don't say GFCI, but they're protected by one hook,
right.
And you don't know.
So you still have that test button. So when you hit that, it trips the whole circuit.
Dude, this is like Christmas in May, April, whatever. Those are handy.
Just another multi-tool. It's got all kinds of different things.
Can't have enough of these.
Yeah, tons and tons of Phillips bits. Wait, we already did this at Home Depot, so I guess this doesn't matter. What's up?
Okay, so you just said this is like Christmas in April.
Yeah.
Rebuilding together, used to be called Christmas in April for like 15 years.
Really?
Until the name changed to Rebuilding Together in
Holy cow.
2003.
That's
I knew
awesome.
I was like, don't say May, say April. This is perfect.
It is Christmas in April. I knew that.
I was like, that is so awesome.
So electricians, like, it doesn't matter if you're opening up a piece of equipment or if you're like we use self-tappers, 5/16 and 1/4 inch. We use all the time. I even use these drill pits. Sometimes I'll pull the tip out, and just because it's 1/4 inch. But these are my favorite because they have the slide on them. So I just figured.
That's also volunteer friendly because they can you can put the screw up in there, right? And it's got the sleeve over it.
Yeah. So it doesn't. Yeah.
They don't.
A lot of them, they don't. The screws fly off.
They come to me and they're like, "It's broken." I'm like, "You have it in reverse."
Oh, and then this thing, dude, for prying, for beating, for anything that
Opening
you need,
paint cans.
Yeah, like that's the thing's solid.
This is amazing.
Yes.
It's like Christmas in April.
She really likes that.
Sweet, man.
Well, cool,
Thank you
man.
so much.
Yeah,
I really
dude, it was really
appreciate
good
it.
to meet you.
Yeah.
Keep doing
this
good
is going to
work.
integrate really well into our tool trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For more than 40 years, as a leading national nonprofit in safe and healthy housing, we've been bringing people together to rebuild homes. And so much more. We're rebuilding pride by repairing and rehabilitating the houses of veterans, people with disabilities, and low-income homeowners so they can remain our neighbors. We're rebuilding communities by strengthening their foundations. Because a neighborhood is more than just houses and streets. It's familiar faces, helping hands, and open arms. And we're rebuilding the future of our historic cities by renewing the hopes of the people who call them home. Our vision is a safe and healthy home for every person. With almost 100,000 volunteers, our local affiliates complete nearly 10,000 rebuild projects across the U.S. each year. And we hope you'll join us on the next one.
All right, so that was a good glimpse into what Rebuilding Together Austin does. They're a good group of people, so I'm really sure that these tools are going to get put to great use. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed that. If you didn't see part 1, so this whole part 2 even made sense, go watch part 1. If you're not a member already, join the channel membership. Please hit subscribe. It helps a brother out tremendously. Do it for me, ya homeboy. Make sure you hit the like, make sure you hit the thumbs up, and hit the little notification bell. That lets you know every time I have a new episode. Love you, crazy people. I'll see you soon.
Descant music and video.